Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. So today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the most anticipated heavyweight matchups in a very, very long time between Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder taking place in Las Vegas. The first fight, of course, was a fight that was talked about for weeks and months after the fight. Um, it was outstanding the way that that fight finished. It was crazy. It was stuff you don't see every day. So naturally, everybody is excited to see this matchup. And in this video, guys, I'm going to talk about both of these fighters. I'm ultimately going to give you guys some positives that I thought both fighters did in the first fight and some keys to victory for the second fight and ultimately my prediction for this matchup. So with no further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Now, looking at this fight, guys, let's first start off with the positives that Deontay Wilder had in that first encounter. So, one thing I can say about Wilder, a lot of the time in that fight, he was missing a lot of different punches, but he didn't ever lose that confidence in his ability to take out Tyson Fury. So that was a really good aspect that Deontay Wilder can take in this rematch. And also, when you look at Wilder, you can say a positive for him in this fight, even though things didn't go his way the majority of that fight, he ended up landing a vicious combination on Tyson Fury with that right hand and free left hook. And almost everybody thought Tyson Fury was out cold. He miraculously got up like The Undertaker, and the rest is history. Also, I thought that Deontay Wilder in the first fight did an excellent job when he had Tyson Fury on the ropes, just using that activity, landing some shots, and really with a fighter who moves like Tyson Fury, when you have him as a stationary target, you need to capitalize on that. So I thought he did a very good job on that as well, in my opinion. Now, Tyson Fury, what I thought he did very well in the first fight, I thought that Tyson Fury did an excellent job of closing out rounds. So what I mean by that was lots of activity of punches at the end of rounds, and sometimes those type of ends of rounds that really give you that extra nudge on the judges' scorecards. So that's a really good aspect that Tyson Fury had in the first fight. I also thought that Tyson Fury's right hand was excellent the whole night, and he really took advantage when Deontay Wilder overextended his shots and couldn't control his distance. Tyson Fury had beautiful counter punches to him, in particular that right hand, like I was mentioning earlier. And I think that Tyson Fury's defense was pretty good in that fight as well. Got caught a couple times, but overall, I thought he had really good movement, some good feints, and he confused Deontay Wilder a lot of that fight, in my opinion, which is why Wilder's output was really, really low in that fight. And I also think that Deontay Wilder, that was the tiredest I've ever seen him in a fight, in my opinion, because of all these punches that Tyson Fury made him miss with. So those are some key aspects from the first fight, in my opinion. Now let's move on to the second fight. So the second fight, guys, obviously Wilder's going to bring that vicious one punch power again. He's got that beautiful right hand that is absolutely, it's like a cheat code, man, in a video game. Like this guy hits you with this and you're going to be hurt or it's going to affect you in some way. So of course Wilder's going to bring that same intensity, that belief in himself and all those certain aspects. Now, some keys for Wilder, I think, in this fight, when you look at him and ultimately some things that will make it easier for him to have a victory in this rematch, I think one of the biggest things I can say for Wilder, I think he needs to use that jab. He's got the long frame to throw that jab. And at times when he has used that jab in the past, he's actually done a good job with it. And I think that jab is key because it will able to gauge where Tyson Fury is at and actually correctly read the distance. And not only that, when he's frustrated and Fury's going to expect that right hand coming all the time, if you throw that jab out there, it's a really good aspect of Deontay Wilder's game. And something that he does with that jab is he puts it out in front of his opponent's face. He blinds them for a second with that jab, and then boom, he cracks you with the right hand. If you look at Luis Ortiz, he did that in that most recent fight. So that's sort of a little subtle technique that Deontay Wilder uses that not everybody's kind of aware. And that's something that he needs to implement in this fight. I also think that Wilder, it would even, he's not a big body puncher. He never really throws body shots, but if he could land any kind of body work at all, remember when Tyson Fury's moving his head around, it's hard to hit that target. But if your body is in front of you, you're able to land and connect on that. So some body work from Deontay Wilder would serve him very well in this fight as well. Also take away some of the legs from Tyson Fury. So those are some keys that I think Deontay Wilder needs to do. And I think that Wilder just he has to think a little more in there because he can't just do the wild kind of Wilder that we've seen in the past where he just throws a lot of shots sometimes and he misses and he gets a little out of control in the ring and things like that. that's going to make him tired in this fight. So he's really got to be on his game in that terms of skill set and in his mindset as well. Now, when I look at Tyson Fury and some things that he needs to do in the rematch, in my opinion, so Fury needs to continue using those feints, heavy on the jab as well. I'd also like to see him when he has Deontay Wilder back up on the ropes. I like to see him actually use some of that body weight, initiate a clinch, because he is quite a bit heavier than Deontay Wilder. That sort of physicality will make Deontay Wilder way more tired in this fight. I also like to see him sit down on his right hand as well, a little more, because I thought that was a punch that connected quite a bit in that fight. And at times, a lot of people don't realize this, but he hurt Deontay Wilder in the 12th round and earlier in that fight as well on a couple different occasions. So if Fury can actually sit down some of these shots, he gains Deontay Wilder's respect, and Deontay Wilder's got another thing to watch out for. It's not just the pity patter shots that Fury does. Now he's got to watch out, okay, this guy's connecting on a great counter right to me. That's going to be in Deontay Wilder's mind. So things like that, Tyson Fury needs to implement. And those are some really big keys for him in this fight, in my opinion. Also, Fury can do a little work on the inside. So if you have Deontay Wilder backed up or you have him in a corner and you don't want to initiate a clinch, throw some body shots. Use some of that work. Use your full arsenal of your game. Keep Deontay Wilder guessing because you got to avoid that right hand, right, for this whole fight. So the more different looks you give Wilder, it's important also for Tyson Fury in this fight to not get caught up in a slugfest, right? So at times, he even said in the 12th round, he got greedy, he tried to finish Wilder. He has to finish Wilder if he wants to do so. He's got to do it methodically. He's got to be smart about it. Tyson Fury doesn't really have that one-punch knockout power. So he's got to be extremely cautious if you are going to exchange with Wilder. You got to have an escape route, always plan defensively or some kind of head movement, or you got to have your strategy in place because Wilder, that right hand touches you at any point, it can be lights out. We've seen it so many times. So those are some really big keys for Tyson Fury in this fight. Now, ultimately, guys, my prediction for this matchup, who I think will win this fight. So, in my view, guys, I think it's going to come down to a few different things. When you look at this rematch, more question marks lean towards Tyson Fury. Of course, he had that huge cut versus Otto Wallin. Multiple stitches. I think it was over 40, if I'm correct on that. And he also changed his trainers as well. He got rid of Ben Davidson, who had an excellent connection with him, who brought him back essentially from the dead. He was, depressed. He was extremely overweight. And Ben Davidson got him back mentally and physically. So this camp is a very different style of trainers because he's gone with Sugar Hill Stewart from the Kronk Gym, Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, and Andy Lee. Of course, the great Irish fighter who also lived and trained with Emmanuel Stewart, the legendary trainer, for many, many years. I think it was 8 years in particular. So the interesting thing about both of those guys' styles is Emmanuel Stewart always preached that you got to finish a fight. Emmanuel Stewart loved that aggression. You saw him in Klitschko fights. You saw him in multiple different fights. He would tell his fighters, never leave it to the judges. You got to, take a man out right away, test him, see what he's going to give you on the night. So Andy Lee, of course, is known for his vicious right hook knockouts. Also, Sugar Hill trained Adonis Stevenson, and we all know Adonis Stevenson's game. So it's clear in my book that Tyson Fury wants to get a little more offensive in this fight. And I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out in that matchup. And that's a pretty big key in this fight is the game plan they're going to have going into this fight. I actually really like the move actually changing trainers because you get a lot more experience than Ben Davidson. And actually, in fairness to Ben Davidson, I thought he did a really good job, and I thought he had really good instructions in the corner. But these two guys bring a wealth of experience. And Andy Lee is Tyson Fury's cousin. Andy Lee, of course, is a very experienced fighter himself, so he can see things that other people can't, being in that ring and going through different moments of his career, being through adversity. He knows what to say to Tyson Fury. He's been down in fights. I think it's a great move and something to kind of keep your eye out for. I know Tyson Fury's been talking about how he wants to really sit down that right hand and land that punch more effectively. So I think in terms of that, I think the power punches from Fury are going to be much more effective under this new training camp. And I also think that something, little subtle things like, for example, Andy Lee had that beautiful right hook. Could he teach Tyson Fury some techniques on that? Because remember, Tyson Fury switches stances. So these are all kind of just little aspects I'm looking for in this fight. And that's going to be really interesting to see. Now, Deontay Wilder coming into this rematch, really nothing's changed for Wilder. He has the same team around. It's very similar, same training camp style. And Wilder, we know what we're getting basically, and there's no question marks around him. So that's a great thing if you're looking at Deontay Wilder. This is the same old training camp that I'm used to. No changes, nothing to worry about really. Wilder, like I said, he's so dangerous because you just can't see sometimes that right hand coming, and especially if he uses his jab, I think he's gonna have some success in this fight. By no means is this an easy fight. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Fury's gonna get knocked out easy," or Deontay Wilder's gonna get outboxed the whole time and he's gonna get schooled. There's gonna be moments where Tyson Fury's gonna be in trouble. It just happens when you fight a guy with Deontay Wilder's power. That's what it is, in my opinion. So overall, guys, in this fight, I'm gonna ultimately go with Tyson Fury in this matchup. I think that Fury's style, his movement, his everything about him, that's traditionally how you beat a power puncher. That movement, different angles, variety of punches, counter punching, um, everything about that. And ultimately, his mental game, Tyson Fury is very good as well because you see him taunt Wilder at the end of rounds. He'll kind of gloat, and Tyson Fury is very, very confident there. Sometimes he's a little overconfident, which can come back to hurt him. But I just ultimately think Fury's style and the fact that he's had these hard 12 rounds and he's in better shape now than he was at that point. He was still losing weight at this point, and he hadn't fought a real live body. Now he's fought Wilder, he's fought Otto Wallin, he's got some rounds under his belt. I think we're going to see a better conditioned Tyson Fury. I think that also with Andy Lee's help and Sugar Hill, you're going to see some new facets to his game that they're going to work on for this fight. So I think Tyson Fury wins a unanimous decision in this fight. Actually, I'm going to say split decision. It's in Vegas and it's America. So split decision, Tyson Fury in this fight. Going to be a great, great matchup. Let me know what you guys think on this fight. And ultimately, guys, I cannot wait for this rematch. February 2nd, going to be a great night of fights. Cannot wait. Everybody tune in. Thank you for checking out the video once again. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.